So today I'll be looking at two propositions and determine which is a contradiction and which is a tautology. What we will do is go about identifying the different parts of the statement. So I have P and Q, I have P or Q, then negating it, then combine the result. So the combined result will tell me if it's a tautology or is it a contradiction. Now the fact that I have two letters, which are P and Q, then it means I will have four rows. So for P, I will start with two true, and then two false, then true, false, true, false. Now I have P and Q. We know with and, two true is a true, but everything else is a false. Now the next part we have P or Q. So with P or Q, we know that once I have one true, it's a true. So I have true, 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 and then this is a false because true and true, true or true is a true, true or false is a true, false or true is a true, and false or false is a false. But we have to negate this. So P or Q, negating it becomes false, 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 and true. So finally combine both statements with the and. So this is the first, and this is the second. So let's call this 1, and let's call this 2. So we're going to do 1 and 2. So with and, true false is a false, false false is a false, false false is a false, and false true is a false. So given that I get all to be false, then my conclusion is that it's a contradiction. For the next one, I have P imply negation Q and R imply Q and R imply negation P. We have 3 letters, so it means we have 8 rows. Let me adjust my screen. So it means I have P, we have Q, and we have R. So we have 4 true, and we also have 4 false. Next, we have 2 true, 2 false, 2 true, and 2 false. Finally, I have true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. Let's work out inside the square bracket. Now we need a negation Q. So in the space that I have here, I'm going to find negation Q. So negation Q, I know it's going to be false, false, true, true, false, false, true, true. Next, I am going to do this part where it says P imply not Q. With imply, a true false gives me a false. So P imply not Q, so true, false, that's a false. True, false, that's a false. True, true, so that's a true. True, true, so that's a true. False, false, so that's a true. False, false, so that's a true. False, true, so that's a true. And false, true, so that's a true. So let's label this as 1. So this represents 1. I'm now going to do R imply Q. So R imply Q. So we're starting at R and we're going to Q. So true, true, so that's a true. False, true, so that's a true. True, false, so that's a false. False, false, so that's a false. Then we have true, true, so that's a true. False, true, so that's a true. True, false is a false. And false, false, so that's a true. Now I'm going to label this as A. So this is A. So and now I'm going to do A and R. A and R. For A and R, and by right, we could have done all 3 together. Or let me do A and R, or you could have done 1 and A. The order doesn't matter. Let's do 1 and A. So 1 and A. So 1 and A. So with 1 and A, which is these two, we know that 2 true is a true. Anything else gives you a false. So false true, that's a false. False true, that's a false. True false, that's a false. True false, that's a false. True true, that's a true. True true, so that's a true. True false is a false. And true true is a true. So this is 1 and A, which is this portion. So I'm going to call it 2. So this is 2 now and R. So I'm going to do 2 and R. So 2 and R. So true, false, that's a false. False, false, so that's a false. Then you have true, false, so that's a false. Then I have false, then false, so that's a false. Then I have true, true, so that's a true. Then I have false and a true, so that's a false. And then I have true and a false, so that's a false. And finally, I have false and a true, so that's a false. Let's call this 3. So all of this implies negation of P. So it is 3 implies negation of P. Now I didn't do negation of P. So in this space, I can put it beside. So I'm going to have negation of P just so that it's close. And negation of P means I have 4 false and 4 true. So negation of P, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So with 1, 2, 3, 4. So the order matters. We're going to start with 3. All of this is 3 imply negation of P. So false, false, that's a true. So false imply false, that's a true. False imply false, so that's a true. False implies false, that's a true. False imply false, that's a true. True implies true, that's a true. False implies true, that's a true. False implies true, that's a true. And false implies true, that's a true. That's it. It's a tautology. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.